Hey guys, Gripper here. In this video, we are going to continue the dot kill run we started in the last video. We are going to tackle 20 to 30 using my guide. A couple things I do want to note really quick. In the last video, I said I was going to take flight paths. I have decided that that takes too much time, and I'm just going to teleport to the areas that we would normally be flying to. Again, as I mentioned, if you're doing this for the first few times, while you're practicing this on your own, I suggest you actually do take the flight paths just to, ingrain it into your memory that that's what you're going to do. Same with, getting food and water, setting your hearth, getting flight paths, things of that nature. Another thing I said I was going to do was loot all the cloth as to simulate um, picking up each piece you need for the cloth quest turn-ins. However, I have decided that that would take way too much time because it would actually involve me killing each mob one by one while grinding, these X amount of levels, and that would just be too boring and cause the video to be too long. So I am going to generate that cloth. I do assure you though, when you do these runs, you will get the cloth that you need. Last housekeeping item is when I am going to grind X amount of levels, I am just going to level myself as to not, have this video be too boring and sitting there grinding the mobs one by one. That being said, we'll get started in the guide. So we are level 20, we've turned all our quests in, we've trained, and now we are going to start the Bristleboar grind. You can refer to my video for the optimal path, but I'm going to go ahead and show it in this video as well. So we'll start over here by these animals, and we will just kill them one by one. And that's the path. So I'm going to go ahead and level myself to 21. And I want to show you another path that you can take, especially once you're 21, if that grind area is too congested, which it might be, but if you're getting ahead of the pack and, due to, we don't know what the layering system is going to be like, so there may not be a soul in sight, I would just continue to do that to 21 and a half. But you can also do this path over here, killing the animals. It's not as efficient because these are a little tougher to kill and more spread out, but it still works. And that's the loop. So quite a few animals to kill. For this guide, we're going to go ahead and just finish off the half a level over here. I'm just going to spawn these very quickly as to make this go by a lot quicker. Okay, so we're 21.5. Something I mentioned in the guide, but I haven't mentioned yet, are the blood shard buffs. You will get a ton of these, and it is so worth it to come over here every half hour and get these buffs, whether you're a caster or a melee. The stat increases are pretty significant at this level and actually make this grinding probably go about 15-10% faster. So make sure you're doing that. Okay, now that we're 21.5, we'll kind of be in this area, so we're just going to go straight north to Stone Talon entrance. That run's a little punishing for people who don't have movement speed, but this quest route in Stone Talon has a lot of breadcrumbs and pre-quests that we're going to use in the 23 to 25 Stone Talon path, so it is worth it to do. Go ahead and get Goblin Invaders, and then we're going to run up. Okay, we're going to stop at Malka Jin. We're going to pick up Blood Feeders in this little hut. And we're going to come in and turn our letter over here in the cave.
What you want?
And pick up the forest magic.
Yes.
From here, there's not too many spiders, but we'll just grind them on the way up. They're easy to kill, and we need them for the quest. Okay, I passed it, but we're going to go into this little spider camp. Don't forget to get arachnophobia here. Like I say in the guide, if you can't solo it, that's okay. Just grind these spiders a few times to make up for the XP. Just kind of keep an eye on it. Clear the camp. They're very easy. Also work on deep moss spider eggs while you're over here. They do spawn two little spiderlings that sometimes spawn matriarchs. You can either kill them or run from them. They have not a lot of health, so I just choose to kill them a lot of the time. You don't need to finish deep moss spider eggs here. You can if you want, but there will be another opportunity coming up. After spiders, we're going to head into the Windshear Crag. Again, in this area, just kind of grind as mobs come.
Yo! Be good!
So we just picked up the Super Reaper 6000. That is a pretty low drop rate on Classic, but I'm going to show you the optimal place to grind it. Okay, so this is a good grind. The Deforsters are very squishy. Their fireball can hit relatively hard, but shouldn't be a problem for any class. If you can interrupt. Something to note, this elite, it does pad around, so be careful for him. He hits very hard and will kill you. The run in Stone Talon is pretty punishing. Fortunately, the graveyard's just kind of right here, so in this area it's not too bad. But still, you know, you don't want to die, so keep a lookout for him. Okay, so for the Super Reaper 6000, you have to kill the operators. They're the only one that drop them. Fortunately, right here I am on the map, this large machine has a lot of operators in it. So we'll just go on up. They don't aggro all together. They'll pull one by one as long as you're not, you know, running up like a maniac. And yeah, fortunately we got a little bit unlucky there, so we'll have to go to the different operators. You can always tell where they're going to be because there's usually a machinery around. Again, it is a low drop rate, so if you don't get it, don't get discouraged. Just continue to grind on the mobs, you know, all around you, you know, because you need all the loggers anyways, and like I said, the deforesters are good grind. Alright, and there we got it. So we'll finish up the loggers and get out of here. Okay, so make sure you finish Deep Moss Spider Eggs at this point. All of the ones in this area should be respawned as you're running back to the hut to turn in Super Reaper.
Hey, how you doing? Have a good one.
From here, we are going to run to Sunrock Retreat, and we're going to get the flight path. Very important that you don't miss this step so you don't have to run all the way back up here again. Oh yeah, and turn Arachnophobia in, and Kaya's alive, that we did a lot earlier in Stone Talon.
May the eternal.
Alright, and here comes one last brutal run. We are going to run all the way down and turn Blood Feeders and Goblin Invaders in, but you know, the quest XP that you gained from doing this is probably equivalent to grinding mobs the entire time you're running, so you're not really at a loss at all here.
What can I do?
Okay, she RPs for a second, and then she'll offer you the Shredding Machine quest. Skip the Elder Crone, it's worthless. Okay, from here, we are going to run back to Crossroads. Again, a little bit of a run, but you know, you get to turn in a quest, so it's worth it.
Blood and thunder for the Horde.
Okay, and now we're going to go to Ratchet and turn in. You would fly, but I am going to teleport.
Time is Keep it real.
Make sure you get that chain, it's very important. Okay, and here our hearth is still in Camp T, so we are going to hearth at this point. Okay, here comes the Southern Barrens grind. We are a little ways into 22, so we're not going to have to grind as much. So I already picked it up, but make sure you get Betrayal Within.
What?
You skip that one. And the weapons of choice back here.
Speak, friend. May your
First thing
blade-
we're going to do is kill the second named mob that drops a quest item. So on private servers, he's always back here. You can kill a few of these thunder lizards while you're trying to find him. He's a blue thunder lizard. There he is. And he does drop the tail spike. Go ahead and accept that right away. If I can find it. But I am going to show you where else he can spawn on Classic. When I was running on the beta, he did spawn over here. So kind of where we were grinding, I showed you the animal grind path. Just kind of by this tree, he kind of just roams around. He'll spawn at either location. So if you don't find him over there initially, just run over here and you can get it. From here, we are going to grind down all the way to Egg Hunt, which is coming up. Again, just, you're going to want to grind every single mob. You can't really pull these that well since they cast, but you can still move and grind at the same time. A couple things about Egg Hunt. These mobs are very punishing. They will spawn little tiny bugs that all you have to do is hit them once, but they will hit you and overwhelm you very quickly. These will also spawn an egg. If it does, immediately switch to that egg. It only takes a couple hits and kill it. Otherwise, another one of these Silithid creepers will spawn. So pretty much you're just going to want to kill all of these guys around here that are around the Silithid mounds. So this is a pretty good grind. The mobs aren't too hard to kill, they just have a couple of extra mechanics that can overwhelm you quickly if you're not careful. Something to note, I do have GM mode on, so these aren't aggroing me, but these little Silithid protectors spawn on private servers. They don't give XP. They do give a little bit on Classic, but I suggest you just run away from them because they have a lot of armor, and it's just kind of not worth it to kill them. Go ahead and turn GM off. Again, so yeah, we're just gonna kill all the bugs and scorpions that are in our way here. So there's the Silithid Harvester. As I mentioned in the guide, he drops a great quest item worth like 2,500 XP, but he is very difficult to kill because he spawns 2 adds the same level as him. They hit you like normal mobs and you can get overwhelmed very quickly. So only kill him if you have a second person, and if you're a hunter you can definitely kill him because you just kite him away from the ads, no problem. Again, you're going to want to run from these little bastards. I'm just dot killing them just to make this easier, but yeah, definitely run away from them. Okay, finished Egg Hunt. Don't do any extra grinding here. Just kind of run out, and then we're going to start killing the higher level storm hides for Chen's Keg. Something to note about Chen's Keg is you do need a Kodo liver, and on private servers the Kodos, there's only like one Kodo spawn and it runs in that pack, but there are a lot more on Classic. So just keep an eye out for him while you're doing this quest. Again, yeah, just kind of grind everything we see, and then here we'll do Betrayal Within and Weapons of Choice. Here's the first named. Again, I just like to kind of kill everything I see. Here's the third named mob that drops the quest. He, however, is not over here on Classic, so I'm going to go ahead and kill him and loot his feather, but I will show you after we're done with this zone where we're going to kill him on Classic. The next named is over here. Careful when you're over here because a lot of stealth mobs are over here. On private servers, it's very scuffed and you can't see them at all. You can see them on Classic though, so don't worry too much about that. Don't go crazy though, because you could get swarmed very, very quickly. I like to just grind the seers because they're very easy to kill. Don't kill more frenzies than you need because they do hit hard and they have a lot of armor. I'm gonna kill a few extra because I did get really lucky on that shield, but normally it's gonna take between 4 and 5 kills to get. Grind all of these and then get your last head and we are done with this area. Okay, so the red serpent that drops the name, that drops the quest item is over here on Classic. He kind of pats like right in this area. You might have to go up and down a few times to find him, but definitely worth doing. Over here, we also will finish Chen's Keg and grind a little bit because we do want to be 23 by the time we're done with all the quests. Next we're going to do Gon's Reclamation. He pats up and down this road, so you look out for him when you're, initially over here because his path is really long. So try not to have to run too far to get him, and then we'll run down to the quarry. You can get very overwhelmed very quickly, so take this place seriously and kind of take it slow. The foremen do put a nasty debuff on you. If you get too many of them, you will die. I like to just hug the right here and just pull each foreman one by one. Prospector is back here chilling. Just grab his journal and then get the hell out of here. You may think that this looks like a good grind spot, but it's not because those mobs have way too much health and armor. They get in defensive stance and they just become really difficult to kill for melee. So we'll go back up the road looking for Gon.
Peace, friend.
And go ahead and accept the next part, but we're not going to do it now. So this is a good example of right where we need to be, right level 23. The quests we're about to turn in give about 10 bars, and that's exactly where we want to be going into Stone Talon next. If you're not, that's okay. I sped across, but just grind the mobs all the way up until you're about that level.
Thrall Hall. Strength. Well met. Winds be at your back.
Okay, from here, you're going to fly to Crossroads. I'm just going to teleport.
Sunk. Down.
You be spirits be with.
And then we're going to fly to Ratchet from here. Oh, it's a little choke. We didn't get the Kodo Lizard or Liver. That's okay. I did mention it earlier that you do need to look out for it, so hopefully you won't make that mistake like I just did on Classic. I'm going to go ahead and give it to myself since we're down here.
Speak.
Farewell.
Okay, so the quests give a little. They give about 8 bars, but we're still okay because anything we don't have now we're going to make up while we do the Harpy grind. So from here we want to make sure that we have our breadcrumbs to and pre-quest for Stone Talon, which is the forest magic which we picked up, further instructions for back to the hut in Windshire Crag, and the shredding machines. So for now, we're looking pretty good. Looks like I did forget to turn in stolen booty earlier, so don't forget to do that. A good way to double check that is, always look at your questy. Always look where those question marks and exclamation marks are. On a normal run, you're not going to forget little things like that because you're going to be hungry for that XP, and you're not going to miss a quest turn-in. When you're doing these dot kill runs, it's really easy to forget because you're going so fast. But just still, if you do mess up, take note of it, and don't forget the next time. Okay, so here we're going to fly to Stone Talon. I'm just going to teleport. And here we're just going to kind of pick up all the quests.
Be careful. Walk with
Two important ones for now are Cycle of Rebirth and Cenarius Legacy.
Hello.
Right when you get here, go ahead and set your hearth. This is actually a really important step so we don't have to run too far in around the zone. Okay, and we're gonna head north. Okay, so the seeds are all around this lake. What I do suggest is getting about half of them now and half of them after you come down. I'm not going to sit here and pick every single one of them for the sake of time, but don't forget to pick up your 10 seeds while you're in this area. Next we're going to come up here and we're going to start the grind for the forest magic quest. So basically we're just going to kill every deer that we see for the eyes. They should be 100% drop rate. Sometimes on private servers they're not. But you'll have an opportunity to get more on the way back down once they're respawned. Just kill every single one you see for now. Okay, so a couple things about this area. Over here in this portion is where all the saps are. The Stone Talon sap is kind of a low drop rate, so make sure you clear all the oozes and come back after they're respawned. If you don't get all of them, they drop a lot of trash that's worth nothing, so I like to just look for the Stone Talon sap as to not clog my inventory. Fairy Dragon is also over here. There's a few spawns spread out, so you shouldn't have a problem finding it while you're doing the other parts of the quest. For the sake of the video, I'm just going to respawn them until I get my sap. Okay, next we are going to do Cenarius Legacy. These suns do have their minions on Classic, and yes, they have like just as much health, so make sure you're gonna be able to kill both of them without dying. Like I said, the run back is punishing. The graveyard is all the way down here, so you definitely do not want to die. I should have mentioned, since he's up, let's see if we can find, oh yes, here we go. The Sentinel. He is an elite and will destroy you, so be very careful as not to aggro him if you're the first one up here. Over here in this corner is where all of the tigers spawn, the panthers. Something to note, you don't want to really do any extra grinding in this zone, or in this area, excuse me. It's just really not worth it because we have the harpies coming up. Just finish your quest and move on. I am looking for another fairy dragon. There should be another spawn over here. Oh, there it is. Alright, so we're done, so we'll head back down and we will finish up the eyes because they will all be respawned at this point. Okay, so finish up the seeds. If you haven't, I'm going to go ahead and give them to myself right now as to simulate picking them up. Okay, from here we're going to head back to the Windshear Crag.
Time is money, friend.
Okay, first we're going to look for the XT shredding machines. They do pad around pretty slow, so you should be able to find it. If for some reason there's somebody else here killing them, they should respawn pretty quickly because on classic named mobs spawn pretty much instantly. Just a minute or so, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute. Questy is pretty accurate about where you can find them, so just open your map and kind of take the path. They can be a little slippery, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Try not to grind too much on these mobs because they're a lot low level, or they're a lot lower level than you are. But if they're level 20 or so, feel free to grind on them. Like that, he's gray. Okay, from here we'll do Gorenzo. It's unfortunate. This quest can be a little tricky since it's a level 27 mob and we're only level 23. However, just take it slow. Don't aggro more than one of these mobs. On private servers, he's always right here, but on classic, he has multiple spawn points. When I killed him on the beta, both times he was right here. He did not pull with any of the other mobs, so don't worry that you're gonna pull 2 or 3 mobs with him. From here, we're just gonna jump down into the lake. And then we're gonna head back and turn in Crescenzo.
What's up? Have a good one.
Okay, I know I said there was no more long runs, but this is actually the last long run in Stone Talon, but totally worth it because the XP is phenomenal, and you get a pair of shoulders. If you notice this quest, it's just the report to Kadric. Just skip it. It's pretty much worthless by the time we turn it in. And then back to the entrance to turn in shredding machines.
Loktar. Go with
And we should hit 24 at this point. If not, totally okay. We'll make it up on the Harpy grind. So from here, you're going to hearth to Sunrock. This is why I said it's very important to set your hearth, because otherwise you're stuck running all the way back up there. Let's go ahead and turn our quests in, except the new one.
how would I aid
What brings you here?
Over here we'll get Elemental War. Worth noting, the Trouble at the Deeps is a breadcrumb for a quest for Black Fathom Depths. If you do decide you're going to do a Black Fathom Depths run, make sure you get this. I don't take it because I don't run over to the Zorgrim stand at all in this in my path or in this guide. Okay, so before you start the grind, excuse me, I go ahead and just finish Harpy's threaten, so you don't have to fool with that, and you can just, grind on your merry way once you're done with the quest. Go ahead and kill any of the fire elementals you see for Incendrites, and go ahead and click on any of the dirt mounds. I'm not going to just click on every single dirt mound for the sake of time, but I will show you, where all the fire elemental spawns are, and where you can find the harpies. Something worth noting is, like I just did, you don't want to aggro these basilisks or these chimeras, because they're kind of hard to kill and they have a lot of armor, and you just kind of want to avoid it. So a safe bet is to just never go below this line like I just did. Just kind of, even if there's a fire elemental, just skip it. You'll have plenty of opportunity to kill them. I'm going to kill these since I aggroed them. But yeah, just kind of stay where the harpies are. As noted in my guide, there is a lot of pooling here. When I did this on the beta, there actually weren't even any Slayer spawn, so I had to kill the Stormcaller mobs to get them to spawn. Very annoying, but again, you're going to be grinding in this area anyway, so don't worry too much about that. Careful for Sister Raven. Don't aggro her like I just did. You will die. Okay, so once you finish New Life and the Slayers and Slayer and Rogue Feathers of the Harpies, this is where the grind begins. So I did make a video of the optimal grind spot and path to do this, and it does include some fire elementals, so you can just finish the elemental war while you're doing the grind. Don't worry too much about finishing it prior. And from here we will do the grind. I'll show you the path one more time in this video. Again, these mobs are more spread out, so you don't need to worry about pulling more than one, maybe two, if the pad is unlucky. So that's that. That was a little sketchy of a path, but you get the idea. Okay. So at this point, you just do the grind. I know you're not going to want to, but I assure you, there's no better path to take. Probably no matter what class you are, except a mage. But for mages, you know, you can either do this grind, run dungeons, attempt to AoE grind with another mage, or you can do, you know, extra quests in Ashenvale. Um, yeah, as a mage, you're a little bit stuck here, but any other class should just be able to, you know, wipe these harpies out. Some will have more downtime than others, but hunters should be about 45-minute levels. Druid, it's about an hour level. I would imagine warlocks is similar to druid. Warriors, shamans, rogues, probably about hour 15, hour 20 minutes, and you really can't get much better than that in these levels. So for the sake of time, I am going to go ahead and level myself 3 levels to 27. Oh, that was wrong. Did Datelli not level? Okay, so we're 27, and I should mention that you will get 240 wool cloth while you are doing that grind. Make sure that you save all of that. What I suggest is every time your hearth is up, to hearth and mail it to a bank vault along with any other items you want to keep. At level 25, make sure you get new food and water for the grind. I know a lot of classes want to make bandages, which is fine, but just make sure you get that 240 wool cloth, because we are going to turn 240 in at the various cloth donation guys. So we'll turn our quests in. Something to note, I did already pick up, but make sure before you leave this area that you have the Calling in the Reserves breadcrumb to 1,000 Needles. Okay, from here we are going to fly to Thunderbluff, excuse me. Here we're going to do a few things. First things first, we're going to go turn in Malorson's Word and pick up Steel Snap.
What brings you here?
Next we are going to get the Sacred Flame on the 3rd tier. And finally, we are going to turn in 60 wool cloth. You can either have this in your inventory or return it from your bank vault. I'm going to generate it real quick.
How may I aid you? Go in peace.
It doesn't seem like much XP, but the more cloth you turn in, the higher the XP ramps up. Okay, from here, we are going to fly to the crossroads and run up to Ashenvale. Just go straight to Splinter Tree, no need to grind or stop otherwise. Okay, so we're going to pick up the Ashenvale Outrunners. Seder horns.
Blood and thunder. Strength.
And make sure you turn these breadcrumbs in for the Ashenvale hunt. You may not need to on Classic, but better safe than sorry. And set your hearth.
Strength and honor.
And now we're just gonna do this the quick Ashenvale loop. We'll start here with the Outrunners. I'm just going to spawn them real quick as to not fool around with trying to find them. They are easy to see because you are higher level. On private servers they're always difficult, but they're very easy to see on Classic. Okay, so also around this area, you should find Sharp Talon. Very important that you kill him. You'll be level 27 at this point, so it shouldn't be too difficult to kill. If for whatever reason it is, just kite him back to the guards, and they'll kill him for you. Go ahead and accept the quest right away. And again, Ashenvale Outrunners are just all in this area. Questy does a great job of telling you where they're at. Next we'll do the Assault. You are higher level, so this shouldn't be difficult at all. Plus on Classic, the Raiders work really well. Torek will get swarmed pretty quickly, so make sure you know you don't let him die. But yeah, you'll have to fight like 4 or 5 mobs at once, but again, with the help you have and your higher level, it shouldn't be an issue at all. Alright, he's used that. Next we'll just kind of maneuver our way to the lake. I do like to stop and kill some of these dogs on the way. They're pretty squishy and easy to kill since you're higher level. Don't go too out of your way to do it, but you know, just kind of drag them along as we've been doing. Okay, here we're just gonna, you know, kill the 12 elementals. Make sure you don't drown yourself. It can be a little pain in the ass, but it's they are very easy to kill, and the quest XP is good. While you're here, look out for Tidris. It's kind of a greenish elemental. He does drop a quest item that we can turn in for very easy XP. There it is. Go ahead and accept that right away. And lastly, you need to scout the gazebo. On private servers, you have to get the kills before you do it. On Classic, you do not. But you don't want to forget to do that, or else the quest is worthless. Okay, I just like to grind my way out of here on the water elementals because they're so easy to kill. Okay, next we're going to do the bear for the Ashenvale hunt. Kind of just paths around this area. And there he is. Make sure you accept that right away. And then we'll just kind of maneuver our way out of here, go for the third named. I'm going to show you this because it's very easy to die when you're getting up here. You want to take this path up to Rainwood Retreat, but do not come over here because there are these sentinels and they are like level 55 and they will like one-shot you, and then you have to run from all the way over here, which is awful. So do not take that entrance, come up this path. Here You're going to get the etched vial for the Sacred Flame from the Laughing Sisters. I like to kill almost every Laughing Sister here as a melee because they are very squish. So just kind of go around and kill every single one that you see. And don't forget your vial. Okay, from here we'll do Ordainus. Again, in my guide, it tells you a few different ways you can do it. Again, just skip it if you really think it's going to be, that difficult. We'll catch up in Thousand Needles grinding. This is why it's difficult, because he has these two level 26, 27 Vindicators. They do have kind of a lot of health, so again, you're just going to want to burn him down and run. Pop a healing pod, do whatever you need to do. Just don't die. Okay, so we're going to do Satyrs. I like to do these Satyrs over here because they don't have any casters or ones with minions like the one more east does. They do, however, put Curse of Weakness sometimes and silence you, but that shouldn't be a problem for melee. The quest drop rate is pretty low, but it's a good grind. If you didn't do Ordainus, make sure you grind a little bit extra on these, about 2,000 worth, or you can wait and do it on 1,000 Needles. Okay, once we're done here, we're just gonna jump out. Again, don't die, so land your jump accordingly. And then we're gonna go down to the Moonwell and fill our file. Here we're going to hurt the Splinter Tree. And we'll turn everything in.
Friend, we shall. Farewell. Walk.
Make sure you finish the hunt. There's some really good XP.
What's up? Hurry back.
Bukra. Victory.
So for this Befouled Water Elemental, you'll get this chain. Again, if you're going to do BFD, take it and turn it in at the Zorgrim Strand. Otherwise, just skip it because we don't do that in this guide. So yeah, last but not least, we'll go down here and turn the Tauroxen and the Ashenvale Outrunners.
Talk to me.
Okay, now we will fly to Stone Talon in order to turn in Ordainus.
I am listening.
Skip the den, and then fly to Thunderbluff. All we're going to do here is turn in the Sacred Flame and accept the next part.
The winds guide you. May the
And now fly to Camp T. Here, make sure you pick up a new ore sample prior to leaving. It's a big chunk of XP to lose out on. And now we're just going to run all the way down to the Great Lift. Actually, I take that back. I misspoke. We are going to finish Gon's reclamation. So we already have the Revenge of Gon. And we're going to come right over here and just kill these dwarves until we get all of our drop. I should mention, look out for where Gon's positioning was while you're running down here so that you can get a good idea of where he might be after you finish this quest. He does walk very slow. It's very predictable. Like, oh, he got killed by the Ashenvale Outrunners. That does not happen in Classic, so I'm just going to respawn him for the sake of time.
What brings you here? Be careful.
And then we'll just run down here one last time and burn this flying machine.
Well met. Goodbye.
Okay, now we will run down. Okay, these are the 2 breadcrumbs I talk about in the guide. The one you got from
Greetings.
Stone Talon, easy XP, and then this is the one to Free Windpost. Something to know, right when you enter, just look out for the messenger. This is part of his pathing all throughout here, so you know we really want to get that messenger note by the time we leave. So just yeah, keep an eye out and kill him right away. If you see him, hopefully you'll get lucky and get him right away. So right when we get to town, turn in the breadcrumb and pick up Alien Egg and pacify the centaur.
Greetings.
Also set your hearth right when you get here.
Ancestors watch over you.
And then we'll go do the centaur and the alien egg. So a lot of you private server junkies probably only think that the alien egg spawns in one place, which is right over here. However, that is not the case. Both times I did it on the classic beta, it was not here. It's actually wrong way over in this area. Questy does show you, but more times than not, that's where it's going to be. But make sure you check both locations. If you do have to do this one, just note that these cloud serpents do hit really hard, and not to pull more than one. Oh, we got really lucky with the unrefined ore symbol, but also in this area I'm going to show you a couple spawns that you can get while you're in the area. Just grind your way over here. Okay, here's one. And I know this seems a little out of the way, but you're going to be grinding, so you're still not losing out on that XP. And here's one. hopefully you'll get it by then. If not, you're going to have another opportunity. So now that we've done the alien egg, we'll go ahead and knock out the centaur real quick. Oh, I did forget to mention, while you're over here, Questy will do a good job of telling you, but we'll do a quick quest that gives us about 1000 XP just by jumping off for this guy, Test of Faith.
Winds guide you. Greetings.
Skip the next part. And go ahead and just finish the centaur quest here. Some good grinding. You over level it, so they should be very easy to kill. The wind chasers do heal, but it's very predictable, even on classic, so it shouldn't be a problem. Try not to overkill here, just, you know, do what you need. Okay, if your hearth is up, go ahead and hearth the free wind. If not, just run back. I'm gonna go ahead and just teleport for the sake of time.
I've been expecting.
Get the sacred flame part. You can do that when you first get to town too, it doesn't matter.
What brings you here? Please. Well met.
Okay, so before you leave this, make sure you've got these quests. The Grim Totem Spying, don't forget to get the Wanted poster, Wind Rider, Serpent Wild, and that's about it. So we'll go back to the Centaur Village, and you know, I do this in 2 separate steps just to get a little bit of extra grinding in. These will all be respawned. This cave does get a little congested. You can still pull them one by one though. I did it just fine in the beta. One important thing is to clear this entire pathway though, because you're gonna need the space to kite these mobs down here. Again, you're not gonna see this cluster in the beta. Okay, these are the 2 mobs I'm talking about. 2 level 30s. They hit very hard, so just get one, kite it all the way back here, and let the other one leash back. Okay, and now this is the part where we're gonna get the messenger. Don't grind too many of these mobs. You know, just clear a path for yourself. There he is. We got really lucky. So looks like on this server he spawns twice. But I'm gonna show you the path real quick. So it ends right here. And you can find him just along here. He spawns at Camp Ethok and just kind of goes this way. So yeah, should be able to find him. It's worth looking for, you know, grinding on your way, as it is really easy XP. So go ahead, accept that and turn it in here. This is the follow-up to that. You just have to protect this guy as a few mobs come. He's very squishy, so let him tank one and you kill the other two, and then it should be easy enough.
How may I aid you? How? Winds be at peace, friend. Farewell.
Yo, be good.
So this is the Elite Panther. As a druid and hunters, we can easily solo this. A mage potentially could. Anything with a kiting ability can do this. But if you can't, I think it's worth about 3,000 experience. So you're gonna want to make that up in grinding. Go ahead and turn that in for a ring.
Hey, how you doing? Keep it real.
And here's another chance to get new ore sample while you're looking for steel snap. Also, at any point, clear this camp. It's very easy. These mobs, don't have a lot of health. You can clear the entire camp before even another mob starts to spawn. The maulers are probably the worst of the mobs, but even then, they're not that bad. Okay, now we'll start looking for steel snap. Again, look out for these kobolds for the new ore sample. Oh, there's steel snap. So I'm just gonna kill all three, but again, just clear a path and kite steel snap away from the other two, and they'll leash. Okay, next we're gonna do Wind Rider. So I'm gonna speed this up and just complete the quest for the sake of time, but you're gonna wanna just, get all the eggs, kill as many as you can, don't go too out of your way. And then we'll come up here for the escort. So I'm unsure if Heartraiser here is neutral. If he's not, just skip the escort and you'll clear Camp Ethok that we just did another time to make up for the XP. On beta, he was not here, so I didn't get a chance to tell whether or not he was neutral. But if you can bypass him, go ahead and do the escort. The escort's very easy, kind of just walks through, and yeah, it's as simple as that. I'm going to go ahead and complete it for the sake of time. Okay, and also make sure you finish your eggs as well. Again, I'm just going to complete this for the sake of time. Okay. So after the escort, immediately come in and turn it in. There's worth noting there is a food and drink vendor if you need to replenish. run over to the little pools and do Sacred Fire. Again, I'm just going to complete this quest as to make it go by a little quicker. These water elementals are kind of a pain in the ass. They stun and they put a debuff that causes you to miss, but it's still doable and worth the XP because you're killing mobs and the quest itself gives a decent amount of XP. So from here, we're going to do the Grim Totem quests. This is a good grind, and you do over level it, so you will not get overwhelmed by the mobs. You're just kind of going to kill, you know, everything you see up here. First note is back here. Okay, and I like to just, you know, kill everything around here. It's easy XP. Second node is right here. The third node is across this bridge. Make sure you get the hoof and do the escort. I am going to let this go for a minute just to show you the best way to do this, because you do have to fight like 4 mobs at once, but Lakota can tank them all initially and you can just kill them all one by one. She's relatively tanky. Okay, so looks like she just pulled one, but you know, just let her tank it. See, that fireball does almost nothing to her. She can take, you know, quite a few hits while you just kind of mow them down, and she hits most elites do, or excuse me, quest mobs do. They hit for kind of a lot on classic, so you know they can take the brute of it. So yeah, just do every little camp like that. Let her take aggro, kill them one by one. I'm gonna just go ahead and auto-complete this for the sake of time. Okay, so just make sure all your quests are complete, and once you're done with the escort, go ahead and hurt Freewind. And we will just turn everything in real quick.
Greetings. May the eternal sun shine. The winds
turned everything in, and now we're going to fly to Camp T, turn in a new ore sample,
Raw for the home.
and fly to Thunderbluff. Here we're going to turn in Steel Snap.
Greetings, traveler.
Go ahead and get Frostmaw. We're not going to do it until way later though. And then we are going to turn in Sacred Fire on Elder Rise.
What brings you to Oak?
And we're going to skip the next part. It's an elite quest back at Thousand Needles, but we can't solo that one. Last but not least, we are going to pick up Cooking on the 3rd tier. This is very important because it's just a free quest in Hillsbrad by doing this. You don't actually need to level Cooking or do anything like that. You just need to pick it up. Okay, from here we're going to fly to Orgrimmar. Here I like to go ahead and turn in the wool. There's 2 different places you turn it in, so I'm going to generate that for myself real quick. For you, you should either have it in your inventory or mail it back from a mail alt. Looks like I did miss a step. So this just kind of happens for me going too quickly, and I recently added this into the guide. So actually from Thunderbluff we are going to fly to Crossroads. So I'm just going to go there real quick. And this is kind of an important step because it's a nice little chain, and we need to do it in that order. So we're going to get the Swarm Grows, and then we're going to go to Orgrimmar. It's actually, if you do forget to get it, it's actually worth it to go fly back and forth right then and there to do it. If for some reason, you totally forget it, don't worry, you can still do it.
How you doing, Spirit?
Okay, now we're going to turn in the Swarm Grows. And go ahead and accept the next part. Now from here, we would go ahead and take the Zeppelin to Undercity. I am going to skip that. I'm just going to go straight to Tirisfal. Okay, so you'll get off the Zeppelin, and you do not need to go to Undercity right now. If for whatever reason you need to train, or use the auction house, or use your bank, whatever, you're more than welcome to go into Undercity and get the flight path, but you'll just have to run back out, because we don't have any flight paths yet. So what we're going to do is cut across this river, or excuse me, this lake, until we get to Alterac about right here. We don't need the Spelcher flight path for any reason, so you can skip that. If you want it, great, go get it, but it's definitely not optimal. And we're going to end up over here. Now, there are a bunch of turtles here. Be careful not to aggro any of these mobs. You shouldn't, just staying on the coast. And we're just going to kill turtles until we get 10 meats. On private servers, they drop kind of a lot. On classic, you'll probably need to kill about 20 in order to get all the meats. So just kind of prepare yourself for that grind. I'll kind of just kill a few extra here, because that's kind of what we'll be doing on classic. Once you're done, we're going to trek it over to Terran Mill. You can take a shortcut, not through the Yetis, but through here. If you have movement speed, that's great. If not, you're going to want to slow some of the higher level mountain lions as to not get dazed and whatnot. Okay, so here's that turtle quest we were talking about, the Soothing Turtle Bisque. You can just buy a Soothing Spice from the vendor right there and turn it in. So easy cooking quest. You may be 30 right now, you may not be. Most likely you're not going to be if you didn't do the elite quests or anything like that. So these are a couple filler quests that we're going to do. We're going to pick up Elixir of Agony and Elixir of Pain. We are also going to pick up Helcular's Revenge. And Infiltration will not be there, just Rekthar Deathgate. You can't get that until level 30, so make sure before you leave this zone you pick that up. Okay, so I'm not actually going to do these quests since I'm level 30. You don't need to do them if you're level 30. So you would just come down here for the Elixir of Agony and just, clear this entire camp. The gnolls can be kind of annoying because they put a debuff on you that causes you to miss, like some of the other mobs earlier, but very easy quest. Just pick up the mushrooms. Over here, we're going to do Elixir of Pain on these mountain lions. There should be enough for you to kill. There are kind of a lot more spawns on classic, so yeah, you're just gonna kill all of these until you get your 10 mountain lion bloods. It's about an 80% drop rate, so it's not too bad. We'll come up and we will turn those in, and then we will do Helcular's Revenge. Essentially, you're going to want to grind these until you get the rod. It's a low drop chance, but not too bad. So we'll just do that real quick. There it is, and we'll turn in. And at this point, you most definitely will be 30. If not, grind on the Yetis a little bit more. Don't forget to get the flight path, as I just did. Okay, and we're 30, so I'm going to stop this video for now, and we will do the 30 to 40 leg in the next one. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have any questions, contact Gripper on Discord, or just comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright, thanks for watching.